Let's start our recipe by placing 8 loaves in a baking dish. I arrange them this way. Next, I'm going to make a rectangular cut in the middle of each one. We need to create a space in each loaf. I'm going to cut carefully without going too deep, just on the top part of the loaf. The loaves will serve as the base for the delicious filling we're going to prepare. Now, I press this part down into the loaf to form the base for the filling. This recipe is a treat, folks. It's quick to make and perfect for any occasion. I do the same process with all the other loaves. Look, I've already cut all the loaves and made the openings in the middle. Let's move on to the next step of our recipe. In a bowl, I've added 2 tablespoons of melted butter. I'm also going to add chopped parsley to taste, and 5 cloves of garlic, finely chopped. The garlic cloves give this preparation a special touch. Now, I'm going to mix everything well until it forms a smooth paste. This paste will give our loaves a unique flavor. I'm sure you'll love it. With the paste ready, I'll spread it on the loaves. For this, I'm using a brush, but you can use any other utensil you have at home. I'll brush both the inside in the opening we made and the outside edges. I do this with all the loaves. I've already brushed all the loaves. Now, I'm going to put the loaves in the oven for 7 minutes. I've taken the loaves out of the oven and we'll move on to the last part of our recipe. I'm going to place cheese inside the loaves. The amount of cheese is up to you. I'll fill the loaves by placing the cheese inside the opening we made. This recipe is amazing. You'll want to make it all the time. I did this with all the loaves, as you can see. Now I'll add seasoned ground beef. I spread it out and press it down a bit, like this. I repeat this process with all the loaves. Now I'm going to add sausages. I cut the sausages in half so they fit well. If you prefer, you can replace the sausages with sliced pepperoni, which also adds an incredible flavor. After placing the sausages, I'll add more ground beef on top, covering it with a generous layer. This is the most delicious hot dog you'll ever try. Make it, and you won't regret it. I've already added the ground beef, and now I'm going to finish with more cheese. I'll place it on top of the meat. I'll spread the cheese with my hands, covering each loaf well. Now, I'm going to put the loaves back in the oven to melt and brown this delicious cheese. Then, I'll come back to show you the result of this delicious recipe. I've already taken them out of the oven, folks. Look how our loaves turned out. I'm going to take one out so you can see it better. Look at this wonder.